Better Together podcast.
Welcome to the Better Together podcast from the Fuquay Arena Chamber of Commerce. We're recording today from the Dashmore Conference Room and Studio, sponsored by Rescued Wood Rehab. The Better Together podcast highlights local businesses each week as the Fuquay Arena Chamber of Commerce continues to promote an amazing business community. I'm Marty Woodward from Rescued Wood Rehab, and I'm joined by my co-host, the one, the only JB Ratledge from Peak Perspective Creations. JB, how are you this fine day?
I'm doing fantastic, Marty.
Well, you got a little bit in common with our guest today. You guys are gonna talk a little shop, I'm sure, as we go through this conversation.
I'm just not as good looking as this guy.
Well, yeah, you guys will. Hey, he's doing an arm wrestle later.
We can. I wish I had that beard. Is what I wish. I could get facial hair.
Yeah, you get a few years before.
I got definitely a few years before that. Well, thank you, Marty, and welcome to the Better Together podcast. Joining us today is Aaron, Lurie, and they are the owner of a few companies, actually, VMA Studios as well as Horror Lodge Studios, which I must say I have been in many times, and it is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Aaron, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing wonderful. I'm excited to be here. This is like the talk of the town. So you guys have built a great following. So kudos to both of you.
Well, I'm new to it. So that's kudos to Marty and Brad in particular. But Aaron, tell us a little bit about VMA and a little bit about Horror Lodge.
Sure. So VMA Studios is a artistic story brand photography company. We do both photo and video, a lot of in the content creation world. We started in 2012, founded in South Florida, and then became destination. And now our home base is right here in Holly Springs, Fuquay, North Carolina.
I love that. Awesome.
Yeah.
What kind of inspired you to get started into this business in 2012?
Oh my God. So it was having children. It's like my kids were in kindergarten, pre-K at the time. And the Chabad was just like, hey, we need someone to do photos. And I just had a camera. There was nothing special at that time. I was like, yeah, just take some photos. And they're like, oh my God, this is so good. You're so great. Oh my God, photography. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. And it just, I was reading the question. I'm going, my origin story to me is so blurry. It's not even funny. I just ended up being where I am. It's like, there was no I have this motive and this career path and I have to be at this place at this time. It came from necessity. At the time I was in retail. I was actually working for a company called Winn-Dixie. They were their grocery store. And I was just shooting photography on the side, doing little events. I had a camera, I had a lens. It was like, yay, whatever. I didn't know anything about the business. One person introduced me to someone else. I started doing weddings underneath them as a associate and learning from them, and then started doing headshots. And I swear I got $500 for the first round of headshots I did, which was the same amount of money it took me doing 44 hours humping boxes in retail. And I'm like, this is stupid. If I could do this once a week, just once, I'm making the same money I am doing 44 hours. That's when it clicked and said, how do I turn this into a business? Fast forward, connections, working, networking, community based, right? Everything started from Delray Beach, Florida. I met I'm going blank with the name. They're the event producers of everything that they did in the town.
Yeah.
And just becoming friends with them, I got introduced to more members of the community. Same concept that, you grow better together. And all of a sudden, the local company for Jägermeister called me to do an event down in the Keys. Brought me down there, and 5K later, I quit my job and said, I'm doing this full time. And that's 2012 wrapped up in a 30-second soundbite.
I love that. And what would you say, obviously you had to balance in the beginning of having a skill outside of your 9 to 5 and your work. But what would you say are some of the challenges that you faced after that? After you said, hey, I'm done with the job, I'm going to go all in on this. Run me through a few of the things that were challenging to get.
For me, the position and my story was when I got that job for the weekend with Jägermeister, and I was like, I made $5,000 in a weekend, right? $500 was the base is all I had to do. Looked at my wife and said, there's something here. We need, I just want to quit and do this. And with her blessing, she said, go ahead and do it. So there wasn't a fight between a 9 to 5. It was all in, make it happen. If I was doing this part-time, what would happen if I was doing it full-time? That was the trigger. Was there was enough for me to live part-time. Imagine what I was doing full-time with it. So that was the triggering point for me.
Well, you mentioned earlier artistic storytelling as far as VMA goes.
Yeah.
Run me through like the unique aspects of your photography and your business.
That's a great question, and thank you for asking. So, at one point, had my nose in the air. I was the artist. I knew everything that was right, right? Like there was no doubt about it. Whatever I see through my lens had to be it. Like that was the photo you were getting. You must enjoy it and love it the way that I do. And I worked really hard on being educated under David Beckstead, who's at the time one of the world-renowned photographers. He was ranked in the top 5 in the world. I did several courses with him, and he opened my eyes to very artistic point of views of seeing things, shooting through, using even colanders with lights, like just any way to get different shadows and lights and off-brand angles that just people didn't do. And that's where the artistic side of it came from. Um, Learning flash photography from my first mentor was inducing flash wherever I could go. So I was able to control the look of whatever I wanted at any point. Did I need to use the sun? Sure. Can I use natural light? Can I add light? So all of a sudden, that's where the artistic side of it came from. Being able to be at the time, a guy that used only flash was a rare person. Like now there's a bigger community using flash. Flash is a lot more affordable than they ever been. So a lot of people who are getting into photography start now with flash. Storytelling is just the way that I want to deliver my pictures. I shoot a lot on events. Like I never put my eyes down. I'm always looking for a better moment to capture. Like I got a great shot. How do I top that? That's always like my competitiveness from being back in the day, 150 pounds ago, being an athlete. And that's a joke. Yes, I laugh. Thank you. Yeah, seriously. So my competitiveness is how to yeah, that was good, but can I get better? And it lends to shooting a lot. So I developed this feeling of like, well, every time I deliver a photo that I'm in love with, my clients love this photo over here more. And I go, I don't understand. I spent hours curating this gorgeous, everything symmetrical, perfect to the T. And it's like absolutely on point. And they love this really terrible offset photo of themselves because it's attached to a story that makes them smile. It's unique to them. And that's where it clicked to me going, yeah, this supports this. Without the great photos, that photo doesn't take off and vice versa. So storytelling really just comes from delivering the story that I'm there to do.
So can you kind of walk us through like what are the products and services that you offer? Kind of a high level
Everything. Just everything. Like
what are
that's probably my biggest issue is that I offer too much.
What are the major things that you do most of the time?
The way that I look at it is legacy events. All right. So it's kind of a new term I'm trying to coin and just say and that encompasses anything that is a life moment. So if it's a wedding, a quinceanera, a bar mitzvah, a graduation, an engagement session, something that documents your legacy in this world. It ties into the event side of it, the portrait side of it. And I absolutely love doing that because I love giving those moments back. My legacy when I leave this earth is going to be generational because when someone picks up that photo, they may not remember me, but I created that moment. Better off I captured that moment that was created, and they have that now to tell the story over and over again. And I always go back to my grandparents during the holidays after everyone's done fighting over dinner. We'd sit down and the albums would come out and then the stories, and now the alcohol kicked in and everyone's laughing. But the stories were so in depth. There were so much details and they were triggered by this one photo.
Yeah.
This flat piece of paper with an image on it. And again, the storytelling, right? So legacy events are something that I'm passionate about. Documenting events themselves, just cultural, right? The town events and things like that. 50 years ago when they cut the ribbon, 120 years here, my photos are up there documenting the town. So again, all that legacy stuff, I'm very humbled over. And it's kind of like, that's what I'm passionate about. Headshots, portraits, corporate branding, all elements, they all kind of tie in together. And again, I've done so much through the years that I think that's one of the unique things that separate me is I'm able to take a magazine shoot and turn it into an everyday photo thing. I could take a storytelling and bring it to a business. I could capture your legacy event with creative lighting or as is. And I just have this wide band of
Yeah.
ability to capture what's in front of me.
Yeah, so you've got you probably got some competitors out there, some other photographers.
No one else has a camera in this
No,
world.
nobody else.
Nobody.
Right?
So
So
it's not like all cameras are sold out right now.
No.
what are the things that make you kind of stand out? What do you try to do that makes you kind of stand out different than maybe someone else who is also taking photographs and running a
Yeah.
studio?
I get asked this question a lot. I think it's one of those like go-to interview questions, like, or even as a business, like you guys have your own entrepreneurial business. Like,
Sure.
what makes you so special in woodworking, right? No disrespect. You cut wood, you glue it together, you put it in a square, you send it off. Like, we could downgrade our jobs so much, but there's something that just separates everyone from their business, and we're always trying to promote that and teach people. My hardest thing is people don't realize what I do until after the fact, because they have the experience of being photographed, the experience of going through the event, how I'm able to people relax in front of a lens, make them laugh, make them experience what's good, what's not. There's a lot of psychology that goes into photography. A lot of people are afraid of how they look or whatnot, especially today, right? We photograph without filters. Like, we do great lighting to help shape and do stuff, but like, it's not an instant filter that covers up those things that you're doing every day on purpose. And it's, to me, it's a shame on what they've done to people in their mindset. So it's a psychology piece of it. Situational awareness is my fun words. I have an uncanny ability to understand flow and needs of events. I've done enough of them and truly an expert in it that I understand, hey, this is going to work for this shot. This isn't going to work. How do I work with the DJ and MC, the event producer? Where do people stand to get the best image? Like, that matters so much to me versus just going with the flow. I'd rather push a little bit, knowing that a friend of mine to protect the integrity of the product. Right.
And you're also helping with that event move forward, right?
Absolutely.
yeah.
And staying in lanes as much as I can, right? But
You're not turning into the wedding planner,
but I have no problem stepping in if I see something that I personally,
sure.
because at the end of the day, I'm responsible to delivering these moments back, right? Everyone moves on, but you didn't get this photo. Uncle John wasn't in this photo. Why is my bra strap hanging out? Like, all these things, like, they come back in force when all the hoopla, everything's done, and people are now refocusing on the small things.
Sure.
And
that's all they have left.
That's all they have left. And they only have me to talk to at this point. So it's like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't we do this? This was on the shot list. You told me no. We went through this. We did that. We did this. We changed. We altered. We were part of the event. Like, they don't remember. They're not supposed to. But yeah, that's a part of it.
That's awesome. And you've got heavy involvement here in the community, out there with Chamber of Commerce events and other events around town. Kind of give us a rundown of kind of what drives you to be a big part of these events, because you take some amazing shots that end up on a Facebook page or an Instagram page or whatever, and you're not getting paid for it. It's certainly great advertising. But yeah, kind of tell us about that involvement in the community and your focus on doing that to support the business.
It's twofold, right? There's a selfishness in it, and as far as like the easiest way to be in front of someone is being at the events, being the photographer, having those things out there, people see you. We all know in marketing, 10 touches somehow, some way. So to me, the ROI is the cheapest way of being out there, A, practicing my craft, B, giving back above all else, and just building relationships. Like, I mean, part of photography is just having a relationship with people. So, if people don't know me as a person, then again, I'm just another photographer that's out there. You can use them or not. But when you start building those relationships in the community and in the businesses, it doesn't become you're a photographer. It's, hey, Aaron, give him a call. He could take care of you. It's just like everything we do. How do we build self-awareness to us as a small entrepreneur, right? The brand is me. as much as I don't want it to be, as much as I fight against trying to be, hey, I want VMA to be its own brand. So that way, I have multiple photographers that shoot underneath us. I can't be everywhere. And not everyone respectfully can afford what it takes me to operate my business and what I have to be charging for, right? But there's options to get quality photography that's taught underneath my eye through my interns and other photographers. So it's a little bit of a fight between getting them out there, blending it, so on and so forth. But hopefully I'm not too off track from the question. Uh, Community is what supports us, right? Like without the people that hire us, they're not my enemy. They're my clients. They have to be part of my brand and my business so that I could grow. Without them being happy, without servicing them, I can't get that in return. So yeah, I definitely, and I've always with my business been with commerce, chamber of commerce's like, I worked for 5 chambers in South Florida. And that led to me being the town photographer at each one of those towns. I'm blessed now that Fuquay, the town itself, is calling me to do, their concerts and July 1st and other major events. So, you land, and I don't like to be part of more than 2 chambers, and 2 is a stretch, because we all know, like, if you don't commit the time, it's like, all right, you're in or you're out. It's one of those things, and we're in the South, so, you know, you got to knock down some bless your heart doors to get. I'm gonna get canceled now, but it took me 4 or 5 years to realize that was not a nice thing. So
You heard it too.
I heard it a lot. I heard it a lot being in Gardner. Yeah, I was in Gardner when I first moved here. Bless your heart. When I gave pricing, yeah, I was like, all right, no, I learned that now. I don't get it often now. Yeah, I don't get it often now. Yeah.
Aaron, run me through, obviously you've been in this area for a little bit now. You're in Florida for a while. Run me through what lessons, or maybe a lesson in particular, that you have learned in this business.
Tomorrow's not given. It's a fight every day in this business, because it's a business like no other. Today anyone literally can pick up a camera and call themselves a professional. There's very few industries that you could do that with. Technology is making it a lot easier for people to have bad product out there, and that is acceptable. And I'm not bashing AI right now. You guys could do whatever comments you want below, but the reality of it is that there's so much more that goes into great photography. But I think the hardest thing right now is the competition of these cameras are just getting so advanced that they're taking up a lot of the skill that I took years to learn how to do. So for me, they're a great tool because they're allowing me to do things more consistent, allowing me to get work out quicker than ever before. My work has never been so consistent across the board with some of these systems that are built in, but I have the knowledge on how to make these systems work in my favor. A lot of people, like, I see it all day long in chat groups. I can sit there all day in chat groups about, in photography, and specifically like, how's this photo? And it's like, you don't want to be mean, but it's like, it's so bad of a photo. Like, it's just really bad. Like, fundamental. It's like taking end grain and other grain and putting it together and calling it a table. And you literally have no idea what you're doing. You just glued things together and called it so. So yeah, I mean, lessons learned here is nothing's given. You have to continue to promote. And I always listen to my grandfather. The first day you're hired is the first day you're fired. Like, you always have
What does that mean?
To me, it means as soon as you're hired, you're working to stay hired. If you just relax and think that they're going to stay with you forever, doesn't happen. There's someone else who's trying to get your job all the time. There's someone who's trying to get that client all the time. So reinvent, reassess, make sure you're taking care of the clients that are taking care of you, because the moment you're hired, it's the moment you're fired.
It's a good reminder. I need to get that too. Could you offer any advice for some aspiring young business owners, maybe young photographers in particular?
If you're talking specifically about photography,
Okay.
Put the camera down and get business lessons. Learn how to run a business. Because photography, everything is subjective. You could call anything art. You could tie a banana to a wall and sell for $3 million.
So.
I know they did. I was there. I know. My point is that photography is so subjected to the person buying it, but operating a business, that's reality. That's where you live and paying your taxes, making sure there's profit, how you buy new cameras, how do you educate yourself, how do you live in a very tough environment that just seems to be getting tougher and tougher. We hear it all the time between businesses that can't meet ends meet, inflation, whatever issues are. The reality of it is that it's more expensive today to operate a business. There's more leaps and bounds to operate a business successfully. So yeah, if you're growing videographer, photographer, content creator, it's really fun to create. It's really hard to keep yourself fed.
And then kind of last thing, at least on my end, is there maybe one surprising fact about your business? Excuse me, sorry. Do you have any future goals or upcoming projects? And you haven't talked much about Horolodge. This being its own.
Yeah, so Horolodge is truly a separate business from VMAs, right? Like Horolodge itself is Horolodge Studio is a creative share space. It is the thought process of getting people into studio settings, learning how to use a studio, not just for photographers or videographers, but for content creators, for small businesses, people who, you have this great setup. We have one of these setups at the studio that you can rent out and use. You can move it into our full production site. We have lighting. We have everything there that you don't have to do the investment. You just have to do the fun time part, right? You don't have to make the money to play. You just got to go and play. So Horolodge is a white labeled space that is a brainchild that VMAs is a member of, right? I get to use it as a VMA client. But I throw my logos up on the screens. When I leave, my logos go off. So it's really a white label space for anyone to upgrade their business and show them to be bigger than what they are, which is confidence in a product. So I always sat there and said, hey, how do you go sell a $10,000 wedding at Starbucks? I'm like, I'm paying you $10,000 and I'm going to take you to Starbucks. And I don't have an office. I don't have a place to call home to kind of show you who and what I am. So that's what Horolodge was built as. So that's.
Do you have any upcoming projects for that in particular, or for VMA?
So Horolodge is for me on Horolodge is just constantly growing that for memberships, right? That is there's no specific thing as far as Horolodge, but growing and better, more equipment for people and just getting the word out there that there's a space now, a shared space that you could rent out, use, or become a member to do all your content creations. We have hair and beauty makeup salon inside. You get your hair done, go right onto set. You don't need VMAs to do it. It's completely disattached. You can have the end of that. Disattached. What word was that? Detached. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Separate. Detached. Just separate from VMAs. So, I leverage it for some big projects. I work with Katrina Wagner. She does brand authority. She's a liaison to content creation days and brand authority days. And we work with her in the studio, and she builds out sets for her clients, uses the space, and we're able to produce these great videos and content out of the space. So working with clients like that for me through Horolodge is like that. That's exactly where I wanted to be on that. More memberships for that. Under VMAs, I'm really pushing 2028 to turn into a full media production company, kind of tying in both video, photo, content creation, working with local talents, maybe not just completely under the hood, but just more of like getting the fingers down and working with content creators like you, where I could leverage my brand's name and bring in talented young people in to help businesses grow. So there was a moment in time, real quick, I know it's supposed to be somewhat short, in Florida when I first started the business 2012. Forget her name, but she was the regional vice president for Pepsi in the Caribbean. And super intelligent woman, absolutely phenomenal, fierce Caribbean woman. And I remember telling her that I had an event and I couldn't do it because I didn't know how to do it. It was a video thing. And she literally just slapped me upside the head, said, you never say no. You find someone who could do it, put it underneath the brand, and you say yes. So find good people, put them underneath the brand, and never say no to a job. And again, I was starting out. She's like, why are you saying no to money? How hard is it to find someone who knows what they're doing and say, hey, throw me back 15% and take care of this underneath my number? I was like, oh,
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
way to solve a problem.
Yeah, right.
The answer is always yes.
The answer is
I
yes.
Solve it.
Absolutely.
So you know, a couple quick fire things. Yeah, favorite spot here in Fuquay Arena.
In Fuquay Arena, I'm torn between two, and they go hand in hand because it's like you start with one place, you end up in the next. So it'd be Nils and then Fat Cats. And if you go to Fat Cats, try VMA's peanut butter swirl.
It is good. I'm gonna look at Kim for this. It is fantastic. That's my favorite flavor.
That's
He did not pay me to say that.
What's the best piece of, you just mentioned one, but what's the best piece of business advice you've ever received?
Best. Know your worth. Know your worth. Fight the urge of undercutting yourself, and know your worth so that your clients know who you are.
Yeah, that's great. Great piece.
Yeah.
And you've taken some thousands and thousands of pictures.
Yesterday.
Right.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Craziest thing you've ever taken a picture of?
Where do you beep? Can you beep what I say?
Oh gosh.
We can't beep.
You asked.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's no one.
But there's some wild stories out there, and you know, things you can do in a G-rate, maybe PG-rated environment. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that I capture is the human body in movement is one of the most ugliest things you ever seen. and I had at 5,000 shutter speed at 5,000, every movement, wrinkle, everything pops out. Clothing detaches from people. Positions are awkward.
Yeah.
There's been some weird stuff, but you know, again, because of this where I am, I capture a lot more that's more civilized than just random than being outside. Yeah, I mean, I know people like just things that I capture that I go, oh my God, how did I even like straight delete like quick?
Get out.
Yeah. There's just it's
some oopsies. Yeah.
There's oopsies in the world. I think the hardest for me is like when I laugh at something and I don't find it to be terrible. It's when the other person's like, "Oh my God, why would you post something of me?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's the psychology part of it, because I see the pure joy in your moment. I see you as the world sees you. You see you for all your issues. And I mean, you go through this as well, I'm sure. And I'm like, I don't see any of those issues you're talking about because I know you to be you. And I'm seeing this great laugh or this chuckle, this silly face that is just, it brought me joy. So like, why wouldn't it bring all your friends joy? And then it's balancing that between, oh my God, that was the ugliest photo you posted of me. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't post ugly photos. Like, I don't get hired if I post ugly photos. Like, you maybe not enjoyed it, but everyone else loved it.
One picture you catch somebody eating or something.
I love doing that.
Or the food's coming out of their mouth.
Yeah, I have a bad thing about that. I do that often. I like just getting like ultra wide lens, up close and personal with like nasty food.
You have gotten some of my friends at the golf tournament. My buddy dive into one of those biscuits.
Dude, like I don't know why I have a thing about them, but I think they're it's like the dog pictures when you get the ultra close ones and their faces are all messed up trying to eat a treat or something. It's like a human treat photo. It's great. And I do them really well. So it's like, yeah.
15 millimeter, 10 millimeter.
Dude, it's getting right up your nose, man.
Exactly. Where can listeners find your business?
Everywhere, man. Anywhere you find me, I'm happy. So you can be social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, online at vmastudios.com. You can find Horror Lodge Studios online as well, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media hits. Like, you know, wherever you're looking, you can find us. Just find us.
And you do a lot of work with the chamber, and we're in the chamber right now.
Yeah.
What has kind of been your favorite part or the best part about working with the Chamber of Commerce here in Fuquay?
Christine and Dustin, not to give them like everyone says it, but I've been around with a lot of chambers in the last 15 years. I would say probably I've been involved with 30 to 35 different chambers, and they truly understand what it is for us as a small businesses to give us every tool to thrive, right? It's not their job to grow our business. It's their job to give us every open door that's possible. And I think they do that unconditionally with love and with passion. And that's why I think this people from all over are joining this chamber right now. It's probably the hottest chamber that's around, and people are doing business with each other, and that's what's important, right? It's not just walking the walk; is talking the talk and doing all that stuff. So what's up there?
I was looking at the pictures.
Okay,
right
yeah, they're up there. Yeah, I mean, if you show up and photograph, you're there. I mean,
Yeah.
Erlen says, "You're everywhere." I'm like, I'm not really. It just feels that way. But
Right.
and I'm on the other side going, I'm not everywhere enough. I'm like, oh my God, how come I didn't get hired? How did I get called? Like, so perspective, right? Like, I think that's a great photo. You think it's a terrible photo. I think I'm not busy. Everyone thinks you're too busy. So
There's balance, man.
it's a real world.
It is. It's real. But I have appreciated looking at some of your photos while they
I appreciate that.
here. But yeah, Aaron, thank you so much for being on the Better Together podcast today. Again, listeners, that was Aaron Lurie with VMA Studios and Horolage Studios.
And thank you, Aaron, and thank you to our listeners. Join us each week on the Better Together podcast from the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce as we highlight a great local business. From the Dashmore Conference Room and studio, sponsored by Rescue Wood Rehab, I am Marty.
And I'm JB.
And
we are Better Together.
We're better together. It's a weekly podcast. We're better together. You should know that there's more in the dash. We're better together. Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce. We're better together podcast.